have a Wakanda shirt that I've worn many times. I'm not going to wear it now because, one, it's dirty, and two, I'm sick and I don't want to get out of this chair right now. Anyways, this is Eyes of Wakanda. I believe Styro told me about this, and then I also saw stuff on Twitter a little bit. Apparently Disney not pushing this. I wonder why. Maybe something to do with the current people running the fucking country, and them censoring a lot of stuff they shouldn't be censoring. In any case, not the people running the country, the company who's making all this and should not censor any of it. Anyways, this is Eyes of Wakanda. I'll tell you this right now. If you watch it through a third-party way, I recommend that. Let's get into this, because that's how I did it. Let's get 3, 2.
Wakanda
Forever
is a kingdom of many secrets.
Also, we're going to watch the trailer. I tried to explain that first. We'll watch the trailer, then we're going to talk about it. But also, let me just say this right now. This is kind of what I wanted Ianu to be. Like, legitimately. And also, this is kind of what I wanted an Assassin's Creed show to be, too. And I'll get into that. Director of Black Panther.
Spies like you and me sent out across the world to do the missions that Wakanda does not want known.
Secrecy is essential to Wakanda's security.
Wakanda forever.
Be a ghost.
Hell yeah. Disney Plus invites you
The time to act is now.
to return to Wakanda in a 4-episode. God, it's only 4 episodes, and that sucks. I legit was I'm like, is there gonna be more at least? And like, no, it's only 4. That sucks. Legitimately. Because holy shit, is this a good series. As Iron Fist, baby! Eyes of Wakanda. Okay, first off, I like Ianu, don't get me wrong, and I don't know, but at least looking at this, I like the style of, like, I guess Africa that they go with this, whether it be like the clothing, the textiles. Mind you, I'm saying that and I'm clipping every part that takes place in goddamn Greece. But I mean, like, when they actually do focus on Wakanda, like the different colored reds and all that, but also mixing it to make it have its own style thing. I love that. That's something I feel like was missing in Ianu, where I feel like, and mind you, I'm holding up the book. I mean the animated series. The book wise, I'm not sure. It looks pretty decent, like clothing wise. But I don't know. Some of the designs, at least when it was happening in the show, it wasn't the greatest. Ianu only has 4 toes. Hey, look at that. Anyway, guys, I guess it does look actually a lot better in the comic, but in the show, it didn't look the greatest. In this, I always liked the Wakanda's style that they put into everything, the African style, and I think like they've somewhat in a sense perfected it. But let's get into the actual thing about this show. This show is 4 separate stories throughout time in the MCU. And it's kind of chronicling, like, the story of, like, how, if I remember correctly, I think I missed a little bit of it. I think either she's the first one, or, no, I think she is the first one. Like, this is the first War Dog. If you don't know what the War Dogs are, sorry, my teeth hurt. If you don't know what the War Dogs are, it's pretty much what Killmonger's dad was in Wakanda. Have you seen that? They're the eyes of Wakanda that go across the world and find different relics that have been lost to time that were first Wakandan or stolen, and then they find them and then bring them back to Wakanda. If you're hearing that and you're thinking, that sounds like Assassin's Creed, because it really does sound like Assassin's Creed. And not only that, like Assassin's Creed, again, each episode is a different time period. I'm not entirely sure what time period her story takes place, even though I'm pretty sure it said it. But her time period, she's fighting like Vikings and all this other stuff, from this guy's the Lion's people, where like he's building like an army state. He's building like his own army of like people, of ships, and like his own civilization. And also that this here is actually the pickaxe that Killmonger finds later, and it's also very important. Like you see her accidentally drop it into the water at the end, because this and like a cache of weapons is what she's coming to find. But she goes here to find him, fights her way through a bunch of guys, eventually finds him, big ass boss fight with different vibranium weapons, stuff like that. Eventually like half this gets broken, drops in the ocean, whatever. Then that was the first one, and like turns out that like, you know, she's trying to get back. Pretty much she got kicked out from being like one of the bald ladies that are like the guards of Wakanda. But when she gets back, she's like, I don't want to be that. She's like, and they said like, well, if you come back from this mission and do that, we'll make you that again. She's like, I don't want to be that. I want to control my own life. And she goes, all right, well, we're going to make you, we have this new idea, war dogs. And she's like the director of it by at least by this time. Because by this time, this is the Trojan War. And I'm like, okay, I didn't expect to see Odysseus and Achilles in this. He's trying to find this necklace that I believe is Helen of Troy's, or the necklace that Helen of Troy has that has vibranium in it. And this man is like best friends with Achilles, and they do a whole stealth mission eventually, like, you know, using the Trojan horse. Odysseus, they do kind of treat like an asshole. Like, they kind of be like, oh, yes. And I'm like, oh, come on, man. That's Odysseus. Like, they treat him a little bit nicer. But whatever. But there's that whole story. And also, like, they have, like, at this point in time, they have, like, Wakandans have, like, telegrams. And then by, like, I think, like, 200 years or something later, they have like straight just like planes and walkie-talkies and stuff like that, or long transmission. But yeah, you have this whole thing that like at one point this guy kind of betrays Achilles, leaves him to fight, and there's a whole big fight, and it's really sad when like you see how Achilles dies. Spoilers for this, but like how he dies, it's like really sad because it's like, oh. You were my brother, Anakin! I loved you! But, God. Yeah, but, God. And also it shows, like, how, like, insanely powerful, like, Wakandan artifacts are. And again, it gives me so much Assassin's Creed vibes. And honestly, this, I think, again, this is what Ubisoft should be looking at if they want to make an Assassin's Creed show. Sorry, I'm going to keep messing with that. If they want to make an Assassin's Creed show, this is what they should be looking at. Make it a single episode. You know, you can make different time periods of different time periods each episode, and be different artifacts they're chasing down to, you know, find or hunt down. Because, by God, was this cool. And then you have, like, this story where it takes place in China. Well, at least it starts off in China. This guy goes, he falls in love with this one lady, but he's like, nope, I got a mission to do. And it doesn't really matter. So he goes, steals like the head of this statue, but then it turns out there's a curse that kind of comes along with the statue. Really, it's that he pissed off the guardian of the guardian of this place, who is let me see.
The time to act is now.
Let me see. Come on. Oh yeah, that's where she learns about. She's gonna be the war dogs. Right there. The Iron Fist, baby! So there you now have the MCU Iron Fist. Assuming this is all canon, which it's animated, so it's a good chance it probably will not be made canon, but who knows. But the Iron Fist, where like the tongue of the dragon is made of vibranium, they steal it, she breaks in, spoilers, she breaks in, turns out that's the woman he fell in love with, and like, really? They did this whole fight thing. Is this guy named Ebel? Who's his best friend, who also like wants to like get out there and feel to be a war dog, but he's stuck like in Wakanda. Eventually, they do pull the tongue out. He's like, all right, fine. Here's the tongue. You take the head. We're gonna get you back there, and kind of that's where the episode ends. But it's also like a fun thing where like you do feel like the main guy of this story specifically is leading Iron Fist to where she wants to go, specifically to get her the thing. Like, it really does feel like he's playing all the angles. Like, he is that kind of smart, I think. Anyways, that's what it felt like. And then the last one is also like the necklace that Achilles gave him, which also, like, just saying, like, it's not in this thing, but like they could have been lovers. I think isn't Achilles the one who had like was it Achilles? I can't remember which one it was. Had a lover that, and like Achilles was like, nah, I ain't gonna fight, and then his lover went out there in his armor and then died, and then that's when Achilles went out and was like, I'm going to kill everybody. Mind you, it's different, like, and like their whole thing about like legends, or like, you know, how will we live? Like, will our legends be remembered in history and all this stuff? It was a cool necklace too. I'm sure we'll see this probably again later. But the last story then like follows not even this one, but this is that is the last Black Panther, which I'm like, yeah, I feel like the Black Panther should have some part in this. But you're really following this guy who's the fourth prince. I'm not sure exactly. Like, I don't think that's the father of T'Challa. I don't think that's him, but this prince wants to is following one of the most renowned war dogs to mark his place in history. He actually steals the axe that will later go on to, you know, be found by Killmonger, and this Black Panther comes in through time and drops talking about the future, how these things are going to be coming down to destroy humanity, and Wakanda sealed itself up, obviously, like it does, and left the world to itself, which the world died, and then Wakanda had to fight for himself, and pretty much in the end, it was only like the last of like the bald ladies and the last Black Panther, which I love this design. Especially because like the feet too are like denigrate too. I don't know if that's like extra cybernetics. But they pretty much pull a Terminator where like they use like quantum physics and stuff like that to send the Black Panther throughout time, which you see like through every one of the stories, of finding like where is the pivotal point that will fix history. Because she eventually finds out that the axe that that the prince steals or takes from like this spot or whatever that was discovered in, that it needs to be put back, because if it gets put back, it'll eventually end up in the museum, where then Killmonger will find it, and then we'll start the entire thing of Black Panther. Because then, when that happens, obviously T'Challa opens the borders and opens up to allowing their technology across the world, versus keeping it all hidden and solidified, and by doing that, kind of screwing the world over, and pretty much saying like, and like saying the chosen prince will will learn to share our technology with everyone, and we will save the world. And yeah, and the prince eventually does go, puts it back, all stuff, and he's like, I may never be remembered in history, but the world will be a better place, even if if they don't remember him. And it ends with Killmonger looking at the axe in the museum before the beginning of Black Panther. So it's like, oh shit! Not to mention, like, I don't know if like, because this suit has like golden bits and stuff to it. And then again, so does Shuri's suit. But I'm just looking at it, I'm like, is this supposed to be like, technically, is this Killmonger's descendant? Or is this actually like, no, because Killmonger was going to take over the world. So I guess T'Challa would always win, but T'Challa would keep her borders sealed. Actually, no, because Killmonger would never probably get into it. Okay, so never mind. But yeah, but like, I don't know, like, legitimately, if you take out Wakanda and you switch them out, every war dog with an assassin that's trying to find, like, an Isu artifact, you would 100% have an Assassin's Creed show. And I love the hell out of this. I legit want to go get, I haven't gotten it yet, but I want to get Assassin's Creed Shadows, because I want to play as Yasuke. Yasuke, and then Naomi? I can't remember her name, sadly, but I want to play as them. I want to be like, yeah, I'm sending the item from Wakanda. But by God, this was awesome. The animation is top notch. Maybe because like it is CGI, I think, actually. At least it looks CGI. I'll say this, I like the CGI here better than I do in the What If series. Like, I was watching the What If ones. I was watching season 3 right now. I haven't finished it yet. But like, the art style, for me, it feels so bland. I love this painted art style. Like, this legit feels like their kind of answer to stuff like Arcane and, like, Spider-Verse and stuff like that. So, I wouldn't mind more of this. I legit wouldn't mind more of this, especially the Wakanda stuff. Wakanda's becoming one of my more, like, favorite aspects of Marvel the more and more I see it and learn about it. And also, another thing I actually really like about this is throughout this, like, the first 3 episodes of it, it does set up what Wakanda's doing isn't necessarily good or right. Like, it sets that up, like the lion who, like, this girl fights, who's the one who steals in the first episode, who stole all the cache of weapons and stuff. Like, he's like, I just wanted to be free. Our country, the Wakanda wouldn't let us do that. It keeps us, like, trapped inside, and, like, it doesn't let us create our own paths. And then the next one, this guy betrays someone that he, like, loves, like, as either a brother or whatever, and he gives that up just to get this item for his country. And then the next one after that is this guy falls in love with, Iron Fist, who heals him, brings him back to health and all this stuff, and then he steals from her, doesn't tell her anything, just plans to leave. Like, it's very much does set up that what Wakanda is doing isn't necessarily, like, you understand what they're doing, but also you understand why it's not exactly the greatest thing that they're doing it. And we even see in the very last one how it all would end, how badly it would end. That they would let the world die, and in turn will doom humanity. Where now they'll have a fighting chance when whatever this horde of robots whatever from later comes. So it's really interesting. Like, I legit really, really like this these stories. And I would want to see more of it. Like, if there was, like, legit, these are probably the best, like, animated Marvel series right now. And I do recommend watching it. I don't know if I would say to support Disney, but if anything, maybe, if only in this case, so that way they more focus on stuff like this. But, versus, the bullshit, like, their live action crap. And also shows them, diversity and all that shit. I don't know. But anyways, this was great. Legitimately, go watch this. I kind of want to, like, legit, this is probably something that I would probably want to go rewatch again. But anyways, thanks for watching. Which as I've done, links are on my Facebook buttons around there somewhere. Yeah, please check out all my other videos. Hopefully enjoy this, and we will. See you later. Wakanda forever! Also, I would love to see more, like, Black Panthers throughout time. That'd be kind of cool.